Welcome back to the NBA Saga, where we break down the legends who define basketball history. Today, we dive into one of the most fascinating debates of the modern era, LeBron James versus Kevin Durant. Two generational superstars, two offensive machines, two completely different ways of bending the game to their will. Before we start, make sure you're comfortable, turn up the volume, and get ready for some basketball talk. Because this is not just about who scores more points. It's about efficiency, impact, and what it really means to be a complete offensive player. Let's begin with scoring efficiency, the language that both LeBron and KD speak fluently. Kevin Durant is often described as the purest scorer of his generation. At nearly 7 feet tall with guard skills, he shoots over defenders like they are not even there. Durant combines elite three-point shooting, a deadly mid-range game, and excellent free throw accuracy. His true shooting percentage has consistently been among the best for high-volume scorers. He does not just score a lot, he scores clean. He wastes very few possessions. LeBron James, on the other hand, has built his efficiency in a different way. LeBron's game is built around rim pressure, physical drives, and high-percentage shots. For most of his career, he has lived in the paint, using his strength and vision to force defenses into impossible decisions. Either they collapse and give up open threes to his teammates, or they stay home and allow LeBron to get all the way to the rim. His field goal percentage, especially in his prime, has often been extremely high for a wing. When you compare the two, Durant tends to be more efficient as a pure scorer from all three levels. He shoots better from the free throw line, and often from three. He can score in ISO without needing much help or spacing. LeBron, however, is efficient in a broader context. His shot diet is full of layups, dunks, and smart decisions. He also creates efficient looks for others, which affects how defenses guard him every single possession. Now let's talk about the impact each player has on a team when they're on the floor versus when they're absent. This is where LeBron James has built one of the strongest cases in basketball history. Wherever LeBron goes, the team's ceiling changes overnight. In Cleveland, Miami, back to Cleveland, and then Los Angeles, his presence has almost always turned franchises into immediate contenders. You can see it in the win-loss record when he plays and when he sits. You can feel it in the pace, the spacing, the confidence of every teammate. LeBron is not only a scorer, he is the offensive system. He brings the ball up, calls the sets, reads the defense, and decides where the ball should go. He can be the point guard, the power forward, or even the small ball center who initiates everything. When LeBron is missing, the offense often looks lost. The ball movement slows, the shot quality drops, and players who look comfortable suddenly have to create for themselves. Kevin Durant's impact is also enormous, but it manifests in a slightly different way. Durant does not always control the offense from the top like a point guard. Instead, he is the ultimate offensive weapon that you plug into almost any system. Give him a good point guard, some spacing, and he will immediately raise your team's scoring level. Defenses are terrified of him. They send double teams. They top lock him off the ball. They build entire game plans around slowing him down. Teams with Durant are almost never bad offensively. Even when the play breaks down, you can give KD the ball and let him get a bucket over tough defense. That is an enormous luxury in the playoffs. When Durant is absent, teams lose that safety valve. They lose the guy who can rescue bad possessions and force defenses into panic. However, because KD is more of an elite finisher than a full-time offensive engine, some of his teams have been able to function without him better than LeBron's teams without LeBron. Now let's tackle one of the most interesting questions. Who is the more comprehensive offensive player? On the surface, many fans immediately think of Kevin Durant. He can score from anywhere. He has no real weakness as a scorer. He can ISO, work out of the post, come off screens, run pick and roll, and score on catch and shoot. From a pure scoring toolbox standpoint, KD might have the most complete offensive bag of any forward ever. But an offensive player is more than just a scorer. Offense is about creating advantages and turning them into points, whether you are shooting or passing. This is where LeBron's argument becomes almost overwhelming. LeBron is one of the greatest passers in NBA history. He manipulates defenses with his eyes, his body, and his timing. He sees rotations before they happen. He understands where every teammate and every defender is at all times. LeBron's scoring may not look as smooth as Durant's mid-range jumper, but he pressures the rim in a way that warps the entire floor. When LeBron drives, he collapses the defense. When he posts up, help defenders shade toward him automatically. He then uses that attention to create open shots for shooters, lob opportunities for bigs, or dump off passes under the rim. If you define comprehensive offensive player as someone who can do everything at a high level, LeBron has a very strong case. He scores efficiently. He passes at an elite level. He runs the offense. He controls tempo. He reads the game like a coach on the floor. Kevin Durant, though, is not just a scorer either. Over the years, his playmaking has improved. He reads double teams better. He finds shooters. He can run pick and roll and make the right pass. But even with that growth, passing has never been the core of his offensive identity in the way it has been for LeBron. Let's zoom in on their different offensive styles and how they change the geometry of the court. LeBron is like a quarterback and a power forward combined. He leverages strength, speed, and vision. In transition, he is a one-man fast break. In the half court, he uses pick and roll to force mismatches or draw two defenders. His size allows him to see over the defense and throw cross-court passes to the opposite corner. He slows the game down when needed and speeds it up when he senses a chance to attack. Durant is like a 7-foot shooting guard with the efficiency of a machine. He does not need complicated sets to be effective. Give him the ball at the elbow and space the floor. He will rise up and shoot over contests that would bother almost anyone else. His handle lets him create separation off the dribble. His length makes his jumper almost unblockable. This means that even great defense can still result in Durant scoring. When we talk about impact, we also need to mention playoff moments. LeBron's offensive greatness has often been on full display deep into June. He has had multiple playoff runs leading the league in points, assists, or both. He has carried heavy offensive loads, sometimes with relatively limited help. His ability to generate high-value shots possession after possession is a major reason his teams have made so many finals. Durant has also delivered legendary playoff performances. He has had games where he looked absolutely unstoppable, dropping efficient 40 and 50-point nights when defenses were laser-focused on him. In series with Golden State and Brooklyn, there were stretches where KD looked like the best scorer in the world, hitting contested threes, mid-range pull-ups, and tough drives against elite defenses. One big difference is how each player's offense scales with responsibility. LeBron has often been asked to do everything: score, pass, initiate, and control the game from start to finish. Durant, for large parts of his career, has thrived most when paired with another strong playmaker. Russell Westbrook, Stephen Curry, Kyrie Irving, or other guards who could handle some of the creation load. This does not diminish Durant's greatness. It just shows that his offensive peak shines brightest when he is allowed to focus on being a scoring weapon first. LeBron, in contrast, seems to thrive in chaos, where he has to orchestrate every possession. He is built to be the system. Now let's slow down and really feel what this matchup represents. LeBron James versus Kevin Durant is more than just numbers. It is two philosophies of greatness colliding. On one side, you have the all-around maestro, the player who sees the game in full color and uses every possession to shape the outcome. On the other side, you have the pure scorer, the artist with the perfect jumper, the player who makes even tough shots look effortless. Think about the weight of that. LeBron carrying franchises on his shoulders for nearly 2 decades, constantly adapting his game, constantly reading the room, constantly being the engine. Durant gliding into jumpers, silencing arenas with a single pull-up three, proving that sometimes great offense really is just an unguardable shot. When we watch them face off, we are not just watching a game, we are watching two different answers to the same question. What does unstoppable offense look like? In emotional terms, fans are often pulled towards Durant's aesthetics and LeBron's control. Durant's game is beautiful. The high release, the smooth handle, the way the ball barely touches the rim on a perfect jumper. LeBron's game is powerful. The chase down, the bullet passes, The drives where defenders bounce off him like he is a moving wall. Each one appeals to a different part of our basketball soul. So who is the better offensive player overall? If you are only talking about pure scoring talent, KD might get the nod. He has virtually no scoring weakness. He can drop 30 inches of sleep, and he can do it on incredible efficiency. But if you consider the full offensive package, LeBron's case is extremely strong. He may not have Durant's free throw touch or mid-range poetry, yet he affects every aspect of offense. He dictates the shots his team gets. He creates efficient looks not just for himself, but for everyone on the floor. The more comprehensive offensive player is likely LeBron James, because the question is not just who scores more beautifully. It is whose presence transforms an offense more completely. LeBron's combination of scoring, playmaking, decision-making, and tempo control makes him one of the most complete offensive forces the game has ever seen. At the same time, Kevin Durant's greatness deserves full respect. In some situations, especially late game isolation or tough playoff defenses, having KD as your primary scorer can feel like having the ultimate trump card. When the play breaks down and nothing is working, you can trust him to get a tough bucket that keeps your season alive. In the end, the answer may depend on what you value more. If you want the perfect scoring weapon, you lean Durant. If you want the total offensive engine that lifts the entire system, you lean LeBron. And that is what makes this debate so fun. There is no easy answer, only appreciation. As fans, we're lucky. We got to watch these two giants share the same era. We saw finals matchups. We saw duels in prime time. We saw them trade big shots in big moments. And we got to compare two of the greatest offensive talents the game has ever known in real time. If you love basketball, you do not have to pick a side forever. You can admire the power of LeBron and the elegance of Durant. You can appreciate how each one rewrote parts of the offensive playbook. You can argue with your friends, rewind old games, and relive iconic performances. That is the beauty of this debate. Thank you for watching this video on the NBA Saga. If you enjoyed this breakdown of LeBron James versus Kevin Durant, please remember to like the video. Leave a comment sharing who you think is the greater offensive player and why. Share this video with your friends who love NBA debates. And of course, do not forget to subscribe to the channel so you do not miss any of our future stories. See you in the next episode of the NBA Saga.